Eire Nua, Appendix, June 1972. The structure. The object of the Republican movement is to establish a new society in Ireland, Eire Nua. To achieve that aim, the existing system of undemocratic partition rule must be abolished and replaced with an entirely new system based upon the unity and sovereignty of the Irish people. The new system shall embody three main features. 1. A new constitution. 2. A new governmental structure. 3. A new program for social and economic development. A new constitution. The new constitution would provide a charter of rights which would incorporate the principle of securing the individual protective control of his conditions and living subject to the common good. B. A structure of government which would apply this principle by providing for the maximum distribution of authority at provincial and subsidiary level. Draft Charter of Rights. We suggest a Charter of Rights on the following lines. We, the people of Ireland, resolved to establish political sovereignty, social progress, and human justice in this island, do hereby pledge that we will practice tolerance and live in peace with one another in order to achieve a better life for all, and we declare our adherence to the following principles. Article 1. All citizens are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Every person is entitled to the rights of citizenship without distinction of any kind, such as distinction of race, sex, religion, philosophical conviction, language, or political outlook. Article 2. Every person has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest or detention. Article 3. Every person has the right to freedom of conscience and religion, and the open practice of teaching of ethical and political beliefs. This includes the right of assembly, peaceable association, petition, and freedom of expression and communication. Article 4. Every person has the right to participate in the government of the country and to equal access of public service. Article 5. The basis of government is the will of the people. This is expressed in the direct participatory democracy and free elections by secret ballot. The right of the citizen as an individual to follow his conscience and express his opinion is valid against any mathematically contrived attempt to repress him. Article 6. Every person has the right to education according to personal ability, work, and a standard of living worthy of a free citizen. This right extends to food, housing, medical care, and security against unemployment, illness, and disability. Article 7. Every person has the right to equal pay for equal work and to join a trade union for protection of his interests. Motherhood and childhood deserve society's special care and attention. Men and women have the equal right to marry and found a family. Article 8. In the exercise of his rights, every person shall be subject only to such limitations as shall secure recognition and respect for the rights of others and the welfare of the democratic community. In addition, it is intended that the European Convention on Human Rights should be made part of the internal domestic law of the new Ireland. Governmental structure. The proposed governmental structure would be federal in character and would consist of 4 levels. A. Federal, central government, based upon the unity and sovereignty of the people of Ireland. B. Provincial government, based upon the 4 historic provinces. C. Regional administrative government, based upon clearly defined economic regions. D. Community local government, which would replace existing local government north and south. Federal government. The federal The federal government, Dal area, would be a single chamber of approximately 150 deputies elected as follows. A, 50% by direct universal suffrage of the provincial proportional representation system. B, 50% in equal numbers from each provincial parliament. 2, the federal parliament would control all powers and functions essential to the good of the whole nation. Number 3, the federal parliament would elect a president who would be both prime minister and head of state. 4, the president would nominate a government consisting of a limited number of ministers for election by the federal parliament. 5, members elected to the government would relinquish their seats in the federal parliament. There would be a provision for electing a restricted proportion of the government from outside Dal area. The independence of the Supreme Court and judicial system as the guardian of the Constitution would be secured. 7, national legislation would be initiated by any of the following agencies: A, federal parliament deputies; B, the central government; C, a provincial parliament; D, referendum. 8, national legislation would be adopted by A, federal parliament; B, referendum in specified cases. Provincial government. 4 democratically elected provincial parliaments: Dal Ulad, Dal Legian, Dal Connacht, and Dal na Mumhan. Based on the 4 historic provinces of Ireland, Ulster, Leinster, Connacht, and Munster, would deal with their respective areas. The establishment of Dal Ulad would be the first step toward the creation of this new governmental structure for the whole island, by thus creating a provincial parliament for the 9 counties of Ulster within a new Ireland. The partition system would be disestablished and the problem of the border removed. Dal Ulad would be representative of the Catholic and Protestant, orange and green, left and right. It would be an Ulster Parliament for the Ulster people. The unionist-oriented people of Ulster would have a working majority within the province and would therefore have considerable control over their own affairs. That power would be the surest guarantee of their civil and religious liberties within a new Ireland. Regional government, administrative. Regional development councils would be established to promote and coordinate the economic, social, and cultural affairs of clearly defined economic regions. For example, East Ulster and West Ulster, having different economic problems, would require separate regional development councils. The Regional Development Council would be a single chamber consisting of A, representatives of community councils within the region concerned; B, a commission of experts appointed by the provincial government, as well as assessing and coordinating the work of community councils. The regional development councils would be responsible for collection of rates and taxes. 3rd and higher level education, hospitalization, communications, and development of growth centers. Community government, local. A system of community government would replace the existing local government authorities north and south. It would consist of community councils democratically elected by the people on a proportional representation basis. A council would govern an area which has physical and social unity, and on the basis of justice and efficiency would take and implement decisions appropriate to its area, and with the minimum control of central government, in accordance with the principle of subsidiarity of function. In brief, a community council would be a local people's assembly